Oh, shoot. Yeah, we have to be careful here because I think this is a timed section that I saved at. So yeah. Yeah, thank you, Electric Dragon, of course. Left everyone hanging there. How am I feeling about Rosewater vibes so far? I am enjoying this game a lot. I think it's really, really cool. I kind of went in not having any expectations. I mean, I expected it to be good because I've always enjoyed the Grundislav, portfolio of games. Ooh, excuse me, big yawns. It has taken some interesting turns, including this section we're about to get into here. Yeah, and for those who are watching for the first time, we've just, or maybe, I don't know, just getting caught up with it. We're kind of in this, like, commune where they, like, are worshipping, I don't know, Ethereum, and, like, there's, like, a transcendence situation. We're in the middle of a kind of a cult, which has been pretty interesting. Again, not what I expected, but cool. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I've obviously made some choices in this game. This game is loaded with choices, and I don't know how they're going to affect my playthrough later on. So yeah, I have to kind of remember. So, the last time we were playing this game, we needed to create a distraction. No, not even a distraction. We basically got into a secret room inside the lab. We took an item from that secret lab thing and gave it to the guy who was kind of watching or standing guard here. That gave us access to this room, which I think, again, is timed. I think this is a timed situation because I think Harley says... Harley, right? She says, like, oh, I better be quick. Like, I don't think I'll have a lot of time here. So, kind of that situation. So I guess we'll take this pause screen here to maybe have a look at what the heck is going on. What are we even doing here? We were trying to... What was the purpose of getting in here? I don't even remember at this point. Oh, nice. Think fast. What's this autosave here? Let me really quick, before we load into that big one. I don't remember why this page got ripped out. Maybe it's because of a choice that I made. I don't know. I guess we're just trying to find out where this guy went, and apparently he got evaporated or transcended into the ether. Not the only ones who've been drawn to this site. Yada yada. Okay, maybe just trying to remember what the prompt was on this. Because we're, I guess, looking for clues. Sort of figure out what the money is, ultimately.
Well, hey, you're a guest of him, but if you continue casting...
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely.
What if I...
Then we've all...
Even from...
That room...
Okay.
I'll leave you to your... Try not...
So maybe there really isn't much to this. Maybe I'm overthinking it. All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Load.
No idea what that is, but it looks complicated.
Doesn't seem to be working.
Reminds me of an overgrown boiler. Doesn't seem to be working.
Books?
Clark had quite the library. Let's see. Books on science, engineering, astronomy. I'm sure this is all fascinating, but it's not going to help me any.
Okay, this looks
Just
interesting.
another one of Clark's weird toys.
Weird toys are good. Should we take the bust?
Somewhat resembles a telegraph, but what is this box for? It's somewhat
What is it? Oh? Holy smokes, look at all this stuff.
the things some people will keep for posterity, I'll never understand.
So many things to look at. Look at this. You can go in all the...
Nothing but empty
Every single cabinet. Oh my goodness. We're gonna just loot this place? Try to go as quick as we can.
lots more books. And what's this? Looks like a diary.
Okay, diary sounds good. Can we take the diary, please?
Should have known.
Okay, that's a problem.
Get out of here this instant, degenerate! Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
At least I found what I was looking for.
Did you? Did we? Figure out what's happened to Clark. I suppose that means he's dead. Number 8. I don't remember what we needed. I'm gonna reload. Hopefully this is okay. I am gonna go try to grab that diary. Unless he shows up every time.
Lots more nothing. Lots. Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books. Nice to know Clark had other interests, but none of this helps.
The journal, I think, is what we want, right?
Lots more books, mostly about technical subjects. The clock's not running.
Wait.
Must have something to do with that machine. That didn't do much.
Does this change every time we play it?
No effect that I can see.
Oh my goodness gracious. I think that's what we've got here.
Lots of
So oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to be really...
And what's this? Looks like a diary.
I should
Oh,
have
we just
known.
automatically picked the diary up.
Get out of here this instant, degenerate!
Okay.
Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
At least I found what I was looking for.
Okay. That's so we were looking for the diary, we picked it up. I didn't realize we held on to it. For some reason, it seemed like we had gotten caught when we found it, so I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. Okay. Interesting. Get screwed, speedrunners. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
I strongly suggest you get out of my sight.
Let's have a look at this journal, I guess.
I should probably get out of Beardy's sight first.
Yeah, I must have had it, yeah.
All good with you, Nadine?
Yes, thank you.
Alright, getting out of Beardy's sight. Shall we have a look?
The final entry is bookmarked with a letter. Definitely worth a read. But first...
Oh my goodness. Let me have a little sip of water here. We'll kick this thing out. March 13th, 1845. I am embarking on a new project, which means a new journal. Here I will record my notes and observations from a series of experiments on the generation and application of etheric energy. I believe it can be profitably harvested from the very air and harnessed for immense number of beneficial uses. I see the streets of Lamplight City aglow, not with the smoky flicker of flame from burning costly oil, but with bright etheric light from lamps that never need fuel. I see compact, efficient, etheric engines replacing the bulky and limited diffusion generators that drive Her Majesty's airships. I see our nation's mills and manufactories humming, kept in motion, not with the sweat of the brow or belching fumes of coal fires, but with the clean, abundant power of aethericity. The applications are limitless, but before they can be realized, I must turn my attention to the practical problem of efficient generation, not to mention safe, reliable storage. Even if energy can be summoned from the atmosphere on demand, some intermediate storage device will be necessary to absorb the excess and release it in a controlled fashion. Absent such a mechanism to modulate the unpredictable flow of raw power, the effect would be akin to cooking one's breakfast by exploding a stick of dynamite. Yeah, I don't recommend that. Tomorrow I must visit Cunningham's to order glass tubes and ampules, as he always takes weeks to deliver. I hope he also has magnetite on hand in sufficient quantities so I can start experimenting with it right away. But I will try the iron filings first, if not. Down to the last spool of copper wire. Must pick up more. And I must stop by the offices of the Gazette soon to circulate an advertisement for a new assistant in the weekend edition. Much to do! Alright, so we're jumping well ahead. Not a very, big journal keeper, I guess. So, about a year later, January 19th, 1846. Some days the work has been maddeningly slow. In other days it seems like we advanced by leaps and bounds. I'm kept too busy I am kept too busy to think often of writing in this journal. I guess that explains that. Yet, I have made notable progress. I have built the first prototype capable of harvesting ambient etheric potential and channeling it to produce energy. In this instance, heat. There is yet no flow regulation mechanism, so the entire energy yield feeds directly into a copper heating element suspended within a water-filled cylinder affixed with a thermometer, top left open to vent the steam which is frequently produced in abundance. In future, naturally, the entire heating coil steam tube apparatus will be replaced with another assemblage capable of converting the aethericity into useful energy to generate light, say, or mechanical motion. The prototype does not appear capable yet of generating heat beyond the material's tolerance. However, I have reached the limits of this particular configuration without hazarding a face full of superheated steam and shattered glass. I cannot say with confidence even now that a random harmonic flux in the atmosphere could not cause a sudden spike of etheric energy that would produce such a result. Now that the principle is proven, we must experiment with introducing a regulator to throttle and control the flow for both safety and practicality. There remains the not inconsequential matter of funding. It has taken longer than anticipated to reach this early milestone. Beyond the initial outlay for equipment, I had not accounted for the necessity of covering rent on the old Turnbull Street storehouse, nor the wages of my assistant, Frank, for so long a term. I've already removed from Mrs. Gladstone's modest but comfortable lodgings over to the garret over the storehouse, a move that has proved economical in regard to both money and time, if rather satisfactory as a matter of board. I fear I did not give Mrs. Gladstone's Sunday roast quite the credit I now realize. In want of them was their due. Oh, I now realize in want of them was their due. There you go. Despite the savings thereby afforded, my meager reserves will soon be depleted at this rate unless I can induce a benefactor to relieve me of these, these obligations. November 6th, so this is later in the year, much later in the year. At Frank's instigation, I have embarked on a program of fortnightly public demonstrations of our apparatus. A brief lecture on the principles of aethericity, followed by a practical display of the generator's operation, is offered to all comers, or as many that will fit within the storehouse, free of charge. I confess that, at first, I regarded this pageantry as a distraction from the work, a senseless bit of spectacle to dazzle the simple tradesfolk and laborer who occupy this district. However, Frank persuaded me that attracting an investor would require some measure of transparency as to my research. And while it is true that most who attended my presentations come seeking thrills rather than intellectual or financial engagement, putting on these shows has allowed word to spread, and there are some beginning to take notice. Last month's published proceedings of the Vespuccian Royal Society of Natural Philosophy contained a mention of rumors of research into the generation of aetheric power by a Mr. Clerk of Turnbull Street. I leave aside that they misspelled my name and omitted my title. Not everybody can pay society dues and have their credentials indelibly observed, but they know enough of my work to have it spoken in those lofty chambers of knowledge and opportunity, and that's what matters. Since they did accurately remark on the address of the laboratory, perhaps one or two of those learned gentlemen might be persuaded to visit and see my work for themselves. I shall pen a letter to the Society's secretary at once. February 2nd of the following year. With the introductions and encouragement lately extended by Dr. Nethersole, good name, second vice president of the VRSNP, I have secured connections sufficient to gain my place in the etheric pavilion to be installed at the Lamplight City Global Expo this very summer. Not only will I have the opportunity to demonstrate the etheric generator before a grand public audience, as a condition of my participation, Harmon and Grove, chief sponsors of the exhibit, have tasked me with consulting on the design of the pavilion in terms of requirements as to technical equipment, layout, accommodations for visitors, tens of thousands is expected, and so forth. There is so much to be done to prepare. Well, I'm sure that went well without a hitch. Tuning of the flow regulator remains of the utmost priority. We still have some months left to resolve the superheating issue. Have high hopes for the finer gauge electrum filament. Strikes me that whatever investments and explorations these firms heretofore have conducted in the sphere of aethericity, there are really few individuals whom they might turn who have any sort of measure of practical experience extending beyond the realm of pure theory. And yet I had to go begging hat in hand to them for the opportunity to take part in their exhibition. Absent my generator, which can produce energy at a fraction of the cost of the electricity with none of the polluting infrastructure, there'd be nothing to present in their pavilion but promises and fairy stories of a future not yet in evidence. But I must not bristle at the indignities and be grateful for my good fortune. At last, the world will see the power of aethericity revealed. Oh no, June 6th. Horrors beyond uttering. I can hardly bring myself to write them here. Franck. Poor Franck. Boy. Your mother will not open the door to me, and I cannot say I falter for that. I will send her your 3 months' wage by post, a paltry sum for life, but all I have to offer. Oh boy. June 8th. I've spent the past 2 days sealed in Turnbull Street, every waking moment spent checking and rechecking my prototypes, and consulting my research notes, seeking any error or miscalculation. What went wrong? The flow regulator had exhibited irregularities before, but all within tolerance, nothing on the scale of that. The police will neither return nor allow me to access the remains of the exhibition model. If only I could inspect it, I might be able to find the manufacturing flaw or defect in the material that caused the catastrophe, or, though I shudder to turn my thoughts in this direction, perhaps some sign of sabotage. There are many who would delight to see me fail. Angry crowds dog my steps whenever I venture beyond the door, reinforcing my voluntary seclusion. Every moment I expect the constables to arrive with irons. I have a very growing suspicion that some handsome sum was discreetly paid by one of the sponsors to suppress the public scandal associated with the event. If so, I am, by happenstance, the fortunate beneficiary of these maneuverings and owe them my present liberty. Oh boy. But what use is my liberty without my work? There on stage at the pavilion, I felt myself briefly a colossus of science standing astride the world with a shining future spread out before me. Now it is all crumbled. One blinding burst of light. September 22nd, I think, maybe 1st, 1847. So this is a little bit later. Yeah, this is a little bit later in the year. The inquest is complete. My name is cleared. I bear no formal responsibility for the deaths at the expo, in the eyes of the city of New Breton, at least. Her people are not so gracious. And the laborites of Parliament are taking advantage of the public furor, to press all the more stridently for a blanket ban on etheric research, which I am certain the Prime Minister will be all too glad to sign into law. I am aware of a dark irony in the fact that my exoneration is the matter has likely only lent strength to their arguments. For if I am not some murderous monster guilty of horrific malpractice, then aetheristy itself must be dangerously unstable and unsafe, beyond the power of any man to control. Fools! If they but knew what miraculous possibilities they foreclose with their ignorance and fear. Sometimes a scientific truth emerges, which the world is not yet ready to hear. Was not Galileo denounced as a heretic in his day, only to be vindicated by generations yet unborn? Something in Latin. It is clear that whatever I am to do next, I cannot do it here. I must leave the city. I will go west. Even if total prohibition becomes the law of the land, laws hold the somewhat looser in the nation's virgin fringes, far from the Grand Maison and the chambers of Parliament. The desert has traditionally offered refuge to visionaries and hermit eccentrics. I can continue my work there, away from the throngs. I have come too far and glimpsed too much to give up now. The road of progress was never a smooth one, and I have tumbled over a tremendous stumbling block. You can say that again. But I'll pick myself up and carry on. January 16th of the following year. My new laboratory, my hermitage, has... my sanctuary of science in the wilderness is complete. Moving out here has been an adjustment. For want of the various municipal amenities upon which I was accustomed to rely, my resourcefulness has been sorely tried. For ample hydration, for bodily needs as well as hydraulic pressure and cooling of my apparatus, I've been obliged to construct a rudimentary water tower. Even the illumination, which living in Lamplight City I had taken for granted, I must now provide, and I have taken to dipping my own candles with spare wax and cotton thread. These labors I undertake alone, unwilling to venture as far as engaging another assistant. But solitude was the point of this relocation, was it not? I do believe that the desert climate agrees with me. I've certainly found it more conducive to work without interruptions at all hours. And the San Bernardo Valley vistas offer quite an inspiring change from the clogged alleys and foggy horizons of New Breton. I am not wholly severed from my fellow man. The small settlement of Rosewater is but a short distance away, which I need to call upon any of civilization's necessities. While I was timid of my reception at first, I have found the people here rather open-minded than those back east, and I have begun giving occasional lectures and demonstrations for small audiences. These simple-hearted frontier folk can yet be won over and taught to admire and yearn for the transformative potential of aethericity. Then perhaps there is hope for the rest of the nation in time. In the desert, I am made anew. My sins are wiped clean by the scouring sands. I begin again. And yet it moves. Galileo's retort to the Inquisition that the Earth is not the center of the universe. Ah. Makes sense. May 24th, 49. Is 49 where we were last time? No. So this is May of the following year. The fools, they have done it. They've sliced off their own nose and stamped it upon as it lay bleeding in the dust for spite. Our Prime Minister, having won re-election in defiance of all decency and good sense, has moved swiftly to deliver on his campaign promises and signed a total and immediate ban on all practical research, experimentation, and development of etheric technology. It is a dark age we live in, and thanks to Leroy and those laborite technophobes, it will stay that way. It is not yet clear what the repercussions will be out here, so far from the halls of power. I have no wish to tempt fate, and I have ceased all public display of my work. But will they remember me as the mad Dr. Clark, the erstwhile wizard of aethericity and his self-imposed desert exile? Will they come looking for me? Like a scuttling bug, I must keep to the shadows and hope to escape notice. It is the only way forward. One day I hope to deliver the fire of aethericity to man, lift him up from darkness, and keep him in comfort and splendor. For this deed, I can but hope that my punishment will be less severe than that which Prometheus endured. My work continues. End of journal. Holy moly, a lot of reading. And it continues.
February 9th, 1850.
Thank you.
That's only 9 months ago.
Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. Come to El Presidio. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting. Jake will want to see this.
October 25th, 18. I'd like to...
February 12th, upon hearing news of the reaction, when they hounded you out after enduring such a one day with warm regards, Dr. Roderick Nethersoul. P.S. How you manage...
Oh, sorry, I was muted. My bad. What I was saying is that the first letter there. Oh dear. Okay, we'll deal with that shortly. This letter here came from the guy who was sort of the hookup for Clark to get into the expo. I was like not aware of that. I guess we wouldn't have known at that point. So that's kind of an interesting one. Anyways, things have things have transpired.
He's listening to the lecture, and I've got nothing to ask.
All right.
What in the ether is going on here?
Miss Larkin was kind enough to offer to paint my shadow.
In the altogether?
Well, didn't want to get my clothes dirty.
Besides, I paint the soul. The subject must bear himself and discard all excess.
Of course. Okay.
Best not to interrupt.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Could we have a word in private, Jake?
Can't it wait? I'm a bit preoccupied.
Now do we have to like show it to you?
Hey, Jake, I've got something to show you.
So, show me.
I'd prefer to speak in private.
Can't it wait? I'm a mite indisposed at the moment.
It's to do with what we've been looking for.
Ah, well, in that case, excuse me a moment, won't you, darling? All right, what do you got?
Oh,
I found
goodness.
Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Ah, nice sleuthing, Harley. Let's round up the others and say our goodbyes. We need to plan our next steps.
Leaving us so soon? But you've only just arrived.
We appreciate the hospitality, but it's time we moved on.
If your journey must continue, then so be it. But we cannot thank you enough for your discovery of Evocator Bennett's etheric cultivator, Miss Legere. Once we relocate and configure the equipment, our crops will surely flourish.
That's great to hear. I hope you'll all be well fed this winter.
Know that you will always find welcome in Chrysalis. Farewell, my friend.
Except for by the other bearded guy. He does
Odd
not want
bunch
you
of
here.
Folks, but quite charming in their way.
I, for one, am glad to be leaving.
Hear, hear.
Have we finished our business here then?
Harley turned up Clark's diary.
More importantly, I found a letter inside inviting him to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio. It was dated 9 months ago.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it ain't here, or in his lab. And what's that postscript in the letter say, Harley?
You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room.
Don't get much clearer than that.
Yep, sounds good.
Suppose we should start packing if El Presidio is our next destination.
Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh?
First and foremost, we need some transportation.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store all the show's props and equipment while we're gone. There's that lady in town with a wagon now. Heard her talking at the saloon once. Said she hires it out to travelers.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
Her name's Lola Johnson. I think she stays in the old blacksmith shop.
Oh, well, I hope she has a forgiving nature.
Why's that?
She caught me breaking into her place.
What?
It's a long story.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
Yeah, let's get a move on.
Oops.
Right. Harley, I'm putting you in charge of hiring us some transportation. Danny and I are going back to the theater to settle some business. Come get us once you've arranged a ride.
And just how am I meant to arrange it, financially speaking?
Well, now that may get a mite tricky. Our contract was to pay out at the end of the show's run, but seeing as we'll be breaking that contract, I'm sad to say we'll be forfeiting those proceeds. Anybody else got funds to contribute to the kitty?
Not unless this Johnson woman accepts pesos. And I've few enough of those at that.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything either.
Harley, my dear, I'm afraid we must then prevail upon you to furnish the petty cash needed to get our expedition aloft. Seeing as you're the only other one of our posse who's currently in the position of being gainfully employed. And it goes without saying, but you'll be fully reimbursed once we find what we're looking for. On top of your share. With interest.
I certainly hope so.
Wonderful. Well then, we'll be seeing you later.
What about you two?
I think I'll pay Dr. Sedgwick a visit. It's been ages.
And I owe him proper thanks for his care.
See you in a bit, Harley.
It's a very Nancy Drew situation here, huh? Like, oh, well, you're the person who's probably least suited to do this because you broke into their house. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and you can do this. Oh, no money? Oh, you'll figure something out, right? All right, bye. Can we go in here now? No. All right, well, let's pay a visit to everybody, I guess, and see how everyone's doing.
Welcome back, Miss Legere.
Thank you.
Hey, Sheriff?
What can I do you for?
Did you ever meet Dr. Bennett Clark?
No, he only came into town every couple of weeks, until the ethericity ban got handed down. And glad I am of that. I have no use for any of that claptrap. All it does is spook folk, and sometimes blows them up.
That's true.
Don't suppose you've encountered a group in the valley calling themselves the Luminarians?
The Luma what now?
Luminarians. They claim to be the protectors of Dr. Clark's artifacts. They've got a commune set up near his lab.
Oh, come on now. You're pulling my leg.
I'm serious.
Well, so long as I don't get up to nothing in town, they ain't my problem.
Thanks for the chat, Sheriff.
Come back anytime.
All right. As long as they don't come into town. All right. Well, I'm sure they're the forgiving type, right? Hello.
Lord have mercy. You robbed me, then have the nerve to come back here? In all my born days, I don't think I've met anybody quite so foolish.
I get it. You're upset. I can explain.
Not interested.
Wait, it was that conniving little snake, Jem. He said the watch was his, Said you'd stolen it. He got one over on me. I apologize, truly.
Bully for you. If you really are sorry, get it back.
Okay. All right. Well, looks like we've got our work cut out for us here. Let's check in on the other doctor here, I suppose.
Ah, Miss Leger, it's good to see you again. Nadine and Mr. Marquez were just telling me how you all were acquainted. Please do continue.
Anything new in here? No.
Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
Are you looking forward to our journey west?
I more look forward to what we will find at the end of it.
Right. Carry on. Nadine, could we have a word?
Of course. Pardon me a moment.
So, how was it working for the good doctor?
Well, he taught me everything I know about medicine. It was especially interesting during the rush. We had no shortage of patients then. I lost count of how many broken bones I set.
Seems we've a big journey ahead. Are you excited for it?
Yes, but also a bit nervous. I've never been beyond this valley.
This'll be quite the experience for you then. I guarantee you'll see things you'd never imagined.
For better and for worse, I suppose.
I'll leave you to your conversation. Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
Okay.
Did you ever make the acquaintance of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Ha! Doctor. If that man's a doctor, then I'm Hippocrates.
Shall I take that as a no?
Miss Leger, I do not associate with lunatics and crackpots, especially those who recklessly cause the deaths of innocents. Now, let's not sully the good name of higher learning any further.
Okay.
Have you met any members of the Luminarians?
I beg your pardon?
They happen to be
They're
crackpots.
a community, living near the old Clark laboratory.
Oh, those ethericity cultists. Yes, they do make their way into town on occasion. Sometimes the women come to me seeking certain remedies and prophylactics. And I've treated 1 or 2 cases of malnutrition. The desert is a hard place to make a home. Something about the old lab draws in the gullible and deluded. Lost souls searching for meaning.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Well, kind of bailed on our own job here a little bit. I guess if we write our article, do we get paid perhaps?
Good to see you again.
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
Did you ever happen to meet Dr. Bennett Clark?
I have Joni's account of his demonstrations at the theater, but I never saw them myself. Never met the man either. He wasn't seen much in town.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about the Luminarians, would you?
I have no idea what that word even means.
Never mind then. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, we'll head up here. I'm assuming we got to get a little bit of a scoop here or something. Make sure these things keep
Good to see you again, Harley. Hope you're spinning me some aurum.
Well, I've spent the past couple days following Jake around, gathering plenty of straw.
Glad to hear it. I like writers who go above and beyond. What do you need?
Say, did you ever get a chance to meet Dr. Bennett Clark?
Not personally, but I did attend one of his demonstrations at the Opera House back before the ban. The man knew how to put on a show, I'll say that much. Pity it all came crashing down in the end.
Have you encountered the Luminarians?
What in the ether is a luminarian?
Oh, they're in the ether, all right. They're a community of folks living near Dr. Clark's old lab who have designated themselves protectors of his artifacts. They believe Dr. Clark transcended into the ether and joined some luminous beings that live there.
That's some wild stuff. But I publish newspapers, not copper novels.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are.
Okay. I see that there's an option to get an advance.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
Which is fine. But I also don't know how much this is gonna cost. So, on that note, I'm going to just hold off and keep that in the back of my head. And then we'll go from there.
Maps of Rosewater, a steal for just 1 crown.
You just keep turning up like a bad copper, don't you?
Nice to see you too.
I'm nearly afraid to ask, what in the Sam Hill are you doing now?
I'm selling maps of the town.
To whom, exactly? Near as I can tell, I'm the only new arrival. The locals in the market for maps of a town you can circumnavigate in 10 minutes.
You're a real stick in the mud, you know that?
You have something that doesn't belong to you.
Could you be more specific?
Lola Johnson's watch. I want it back.
No can do. You swipe that watch for me fair and square.
I think you'll find it in your best interest to give me that watch back.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Because the sheriff won't be too happy to know there's a thief in town.
You know, you're absolutely right. Be a shame if he found out who really broke into One Eye's place and stole that watch. Should I go over there right now and tell him?
That won't be necessary.
Thought as much.
You're on thin ice, kid. Hand over the watch or I might do something I'll regret.
No, you won't. We're in the middle of the town thoroughfare. You lay a hand on me, and everybody and his dog will see it.
I mean, I'm real tempted to punch this guy in the face. I'm gonna be real right now. I don't really want to give him any more money.
Don't go anywhere.
Not like there's anywhere to go.
But it would be satisfying. Especially since we know that Harley's like a good fighter and stuff.
Locked. Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity. I hope you're not leading us on a wild goose chase, Clark.
I mean, we certainly are. Alright, let's go peek in here. Then maybe we'll punch him in the face. And then we'll go back to it. I feel like we want to hold on to as much money as we possibly can here, so... Yeah, it doesn't look like we can do much here. This is just like looking at stuff. Can't go upstairs.
The local populace getting sloshed.
Push the button for good measure. Good. Still works.
Feeling lost? Bye.
So what does she say if I come back? Like, I really got to beat this guy up, or are you gonna be like my buddy
You
here?
got my watch?
Not yet.
Then stop wasting my time and come back when you do.
All right, fine. We'll punch him in the face. Actually, let me check one other thing. Like, if I do go to the sheriff's, I can't tattle.
Welcome.
Hey,
What can I...
just say.
I see.
Stay out of trouble. So we've got two options, I guess. We could pay for it, or we could punch this guy.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
Cut the crap, kid. Name your price and let's be done with it.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
I'm not playing games. Tell me how much you want for the watch.
Let's see. Taking into account the material and age. How about 10 crowns?
10 crowns? I think we only have 15 crowns.
Let's give them a real show then. Can't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that was cheaper.
Here it is. I'd better get this back to Lola quick.
That's the whole thing. It's just a sigh. Okay, well, I mean, hey, we did warn him. I would argue that he probably deserved it. We kind of warned him over and over, like, don't take us for a mark kind of a thing.
You got my watch?
Yes, here it is. No hard feelings?
Well, now, why'd you come back here anyway?
Name's Harley Leger. My companions and I are headed to El Presidio, and we heard you've got a wagon for hire.
I do? How many are you?
5, including myself.
Listen close, because I'm only gonna say this once. You pull anything funny again, and you get left on the side of the road. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
My fee is 40 crowns up front.
40 crowns. Okay.
I'll come back later.
40 crowns up front. We've got 15, I think. So I guess we are going to have to ask for a little bit of that cash.
Good to see you.
I have a feeling that she's going to throw us out the
Hello
window
again, Harley.
when we ask, but I don't know if we have a choice.
What do you need?
Joni, I'd like to ask, could I get an advance on my article?
What for?
The long and the short of it is that Jake has invited me on an expedition. I'll need some extra crowns to cover the expenses.
What kind of an expedition?
We're going to look for Dr. Bennett Clark's missing fortune. Surely a far more interesting story, wouldn't you say?
You're right about that. Tales from the wild frontier are in vogue these days, and folk will be gumming to find out what happened to Clark. But I like people who finish what they start. Get me your assignment, then we can discuss your next one.
Understood. I'd best be on my way.
Right, you are.
So did we get the money? We did not get the money.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can...
What will they...
Okay. So what do
See
we
you
do?
later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
Oh, write article. Okay, so we'll just type it up, get it done.
All right, let's get this thing knocked out. But first... Okay, time to bring home the bacon. The big question, how to open?
Oh, I have to write it? I'm not the writer. Can't make an omelet without punching out some petty criminals, that's true. Gotta crack some of those eggs. So Harley was just a stranger who knocked on her door. It's like, you don't know me, but I think this is your wife. Oh, that's amazing. And also that guy just got knocked out. That's amazing. All right. Well, I think we opened the bar brawl, right? We gotta hook these people in.
When this writer was assigned to pen a profile of a Wild West legend, she never expected to become embroiled in the action firsthand.
Yeah.
No sooner had my private audience with Gentleman Jake concluded than a saloon brawl erupted in the barroom of the Jack of Diamonds, and Mr. Ackerman's legendary pugilistic prowess was put on full display.
The end.
Now, the middle section needs to recapture the reader's
Oh.
interest. Let's see.
Well, this is a puff piece, right? So I think what we need to do is, yeah, we need to butter them up a little bit here.
They say the true mark of a person's character is how they behave under pressure. Mr. Ackerman showed nothing but resourcefulness when he found himself taken captive on one recent occasion, the details of which he was not at liberty to disclose. But he was able to recount his escape by means of a clever ruse involving the use of common household items, a true-life tale rivaling the plots of the most lurid copper novels.
The end.
And now for an ending.
Oh, right. Let's see. Well, hello, Raiders. I don't know why the alert is not going off right now, but welcome. Very nice to see you all. Thank you very much, Cressup, for the raid. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, well, I don't know why the alert never went off, but yeah, welcome in, everyone. I hope you had a great stream. We're playing some Rosewater. Everybody go follow Cressup. Good people. I'm just having a look now at this alerting thing. Oh, there it is. It's just mega late. Well, welcome. Dramatic pause for it to fire off. That works. Yeah, welcome in. Hello, everybody. Screw top. Howdy. Just finished. Oh, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't really know how far in I am. I think this is my 3rd or 4th session of the game. We're writing our little story here. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's been quite fun. We're putting together this I guess the article here. I guess it's going to be posted in Rosewater, puff piece. We'll butter him up at the end here.
Mr. Ackerman is a great man, and by his visit to our industrious frontier town, proves that Rosewater is the sort of cosmopolitan crossroads where one might yet meet and mingle with some of the true luminaries of our age.
Oh, yes. The end.
All right, that should do it. Now, what should I title it?
We can leave it untitled as well. Interesting. What happens if we leave it untitled? I guess, I don't know. I feel like we probably have to title it, right? I don't know. Do Frontier. Continuing Adventures of Gentleman Jake. I feel like Gentleman Jake probably needs to be in there, so we'll do that.
The Continuing Adventures of Gentleman Jake. And done.
Guess we'll see how that goes. I don't know how well I feel about the whole thing, but it'll be good enough. It's just a draft, right? You know what I mean? We're just spitballing here, throwing some stuff at the wall.
Hello again, Harley.
Shopping it.
No time to waste gabbing, Leger. Get out there and write.
What if I told you that I did?
Here you are, Joni. One profile of Gentleman Jake, ready to print.
Let's have a look. You know, writing the headline is normally the editor's job.
Oops.
Now let's see.
I knew I should have left
in town
it.
for a day and Spitfire Harley makes her comeback. This is good. You've kept it brisk all the way through. Oof, laying it on a bit thick at the end there, aren't you? Still, I asked you to make the town look good and you delivered. I appreciate a writer who can take editorial direction. We'll work on the subtlety later.
Okay.
Not bad, Harley. Not bad at all. A few snips here and there and this will be fit to print. Here's your fee, as agreed.
60.
Now I know what I'm working with, I'll have a think about your next assignment.
About that.
Hmm?
How about that piece on the search for Clark's missing fortune? That'll be better than any old profile.
Sure enough. All right then. Clark's missing fortune it is.
I've got something else.
Oh? Do tell.
While I was going around with Jake, we spent some time with the Otham.
Oh,
I learned
yes.
that they've come under constant attack from the soldiers at Fort Beaumont.
What? Why?
That's the thing. There's no reason. They pose no threat, yet the soldiers harass them anyway. In one recent raid, all their crops were torched.
That's atrocious. People need to know about this.
I'm glad you think so, because their leader wants their story told. She's willing to be interviewed. She gave me this statement, too.
Good night, Cress Up. Thanks again for the raid.
Stuff.
Much appreciated.
I'll pay a visit as soon as I can and see for myself. Plenty of townsfolk could stand to learn about our neighbours in the valley. This could open their eyes.
I hope so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to see about hiring a wagon.
Godspeed, Harley.
Okay, we're rich.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
We're loaded. Okay. I think it's this way. I guess we came out on top money-wise, which is good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Here's your fee.
Good. Get your posse together and meet me outside town at sundown.
Ooh.
We'll head out then.
Yes, our posse. I love that we have a posse. This is quite a ride here. You're gonna get a few hop-ons.
There you are.
This kind of ride.
This your group then?
This is us.
All right, folks, listen here. I'm Lola Johnson. This is my wagon. When you're in my wagon, you follow my rules. Rule 1. I'm your driver, not your friend. While we're moving, leave me be. That means no yammering in my ear about how pretty you think the mountains are.
They're pretty.
Rule 2. We stop and go as I say. I ain't interested in blowing up my engine just 'cause y'all are in a hurry. Last rule. Everybody does their part. Be it cooking, hunting, or gathering firewood. This ain't no pleasure cruise, and I won't be serving y'all. The road can be rough, but I'm an experienced navigator and tracker, so stick with me and you'll be fine. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask.
I mean, that's straightforward. But what if it's important?
Just how long do you expect this journey to take?
I reckon it shouldn't be more than 8 or 9 days, weather permitting. Anything else?
Anything else?
Regarding your first rule, what if we have an emergency?
And
Then
we will.
Tell me. Just don't bother me with small talk. I need to concentrate on driving. Anything else?
Anything else? I feel like this is gonna rub her the wrong way.
You said you're a tracker? What's that mean exactly?
It means I'm good at finding things. One of you gets lost, or we're hunting our supper and need to trail an animal, I can do that.
So, like a bloodhound?
No, like a tracker. Compare me to a dog again, and you're finding yourself another ride. Understand?
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to offend.
Folk rarely do. Anything else?
Amazing. Good character. All right. Yeah, we're good. I'm not gonna even.
We understand. You'll have no trouble from us.
All right then. Let's get a move on. Time's wasted.
You might have a little bit of trouble with Jake, but you'll learn
We're
to love
off,
him.
with the first faint tendrils of dawn at our backs. We head west for El Presidio on the trail of the elusive Dr. Clark.
Look at this.
We have but a few days'
background.
travel
Ooh.
before us, through the desert and mountains to reach the coast. I am rather looking forward to getting a better view of this part of the country. And should the scenery lack for diversion, I suppose I'll have recourse in the fellowship of my new traveling companions. Now that we've assembled in this unlikely venture, perhaps it's time we got to better know one another.
Oh boy.
Feels good to be underway at last.
Yes, though I must admit I tend to become restless on long trips.
Well, we got cards, books, and conversation. Plenty of ways to pass the time.
Look at this, huh? Alright, there's plenty of things to look at. Holy cow.
None are in the red, so I guess that's good. None are in the red. None are... Lola must be a reader. Always nice to have some books around. In case we need to dig ourselves out of trouble. We're set for fuel for a good while. That's what keeps this heap going. Makes it pretty hot in here, too. Jake's luggage. I could put everything I own in that suitcase and it would hardly cover the bottom.
A lot of stuff. Oh, okay, here we go. So there's Rosewater. And then there's El Presidio. I think this is our location. That is quite a while here, quite a jump. So I guess this is... Yeah, that's a long way. Flywood, Devil's Hollow, some of these great... Purgatory Gulch. Holy smokes. Any other good ones? Gato Gordo? Hopefully we get to stop there. Cool. Alright, I think we have to talk to people now. I was kind of just peeking. It looks like we can leave that direction as well. We won't bother Lola, though.
Phil?
Señorita?
Will this be your first time visiting El Presidio?
It will. I have heard many tales of this so-called Mouth of the West. I am curious to find out which ones are true.
We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Phil?
Señorita?
You're very polite, Phil, but please, call me Harley.
What is wrong with Señorita?
It's not my name.
Ah, but it is a sign of respect. I would never dream of addressing a new Spanish lady by her given name.
Well, things are different here.
As I am learning. If you wish it, it will be so.
Appreciate it. We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Hey, I see something up ahead.
What?
On the side of the road.
Only one
Looks
conversation,
like some kind
huh?
of castle?
Wagon slowing down.
Guess it caught Lola's eye, too. Let's have a
Castle.
look.
Now that is some truly impressive architecture.
Do you think so? Truly? That it does, impress?
It's hideous. No, that's actually pretty cool.
I agree. It's got a certain kind of picturesque quality.
Are you the architect of this structure, sir?
I am indeed visionary, architect, and sole laborer. My name is Vilius Circas. What you see before you is a monument to love.
How do you mean?
This is my marriage proposal to my darling Marta. Every stone you see has been placed by my hand with utmost care. Soon it shall be completed, and my castle will have its queen.
Damn, feller. You're making the rest of us menfolk look bad.
I'm going into town to pick up a few things. I'll see y'all back on the wagon.
I'll come with you.
Okay. All right. Well, we got this is crazy. What do we have here?
This fellow's been busy. No doubt about that.
Building a building.
Not sure what's in them, but they look heavy. Suppose it gets the job done, eventually.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk about this.
Pardon me, Mr. Circus?
Yes, ma'am?
There's plenty of ways to profess your love. Why a castle?
I am architect and engineer by trade. Building things is what I know, and my beloved Marta always loved castles. I thought this would be fitting. She will be so surprised when she sees it. I cannot wait to see her face.
Be surprised, all right.
I want to hear more about this Martha. How did you meet her?
Her father was chairman of rail company where I worked in Rampton. He introduced us.
And you started courting?
For a time, yes. Then my work brought me to Western Vespuccia, but we have corresponded. I send letter every month.
Hang on. When was the last time you saw Martha?
Just before I came here. 7 years.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
You're telling me you haven't seen Martha in 7 years, and you've built her this castle hoping she'll marry you? What if she says no?
She will not refuse me. Not when she sees what I can give her. But perhaps you will see for yourself. I sent her telegram to invite her here, and she sent a response. Today she will be here.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's get your popcorn ready. Hey, Goose of Time. By the way, hello.
Is it your intention to actually live in this place?
You better if you built it.
Of course.
Wouldn't it help to have some doors?
All in due time. My dear Martha has delicate constitution. Desert heat will be good for her health.
Does she have problems with her breathing?
Yes, I believe so. Often when I would visit, her housemaid would say she was too ill to see anyone.
Now, I've heard that one before.
Uh-oh.
You said you built this all by yourself? How do you manage that?
As I said, I am engineer by trade. There are plenty of stones all around. I simply gather and place them.
So have you been building this castle for 7 years then?
About that long, yes. I began at once when I moved here, so that I could bring Martha here to live with me as soon as possible.
Caramba.
Great work takes time.
It is a pretty cool castle. I'm gonna call that out.
You have an interesting accent. Where do you come from?
I am from Lithuania. I came to Vespuccia to work on railroad and build bridges.
And how has this country treated you, compadre?
Very well. I have had many opportunities. The money I earned allowed me to build my dream.
I'll just be off for now. Thanks for the talk.
Goodbye.
You know, I can't help but remember the time I made a grand declaration of love. Wasn't quite this elaborate, but it came close.
And what was the lucky lady's name?
Meredith. She was something real special.
Meredith.
Shame it didn't work out between us. Hope things go better for this feller.
He's putting a lot of eggs in a lot of...
Just goes to show what one man can
basket
accomplish
here.
if he puts his mind to it. Damn impressive.
I agree.
I really do admire this gentleman's dedication. It's rare to find someone so committed to anything.
Poor bastard. Hope this is all worth it for him.
As do I.
Madre mia. Never before have I seen such a romantic gesture. This Martha is a lucky woman.
Maybe.
If someone did such a thing for you, what would your response be?
Fist in the face. I mean... piece of property. I feel like this is a conversation before you do this sort of deal, but I think you'd have to appreciate the absurd situation here.
Gratitude, I suppose? Awe? I don't know.
For such devotion to go unacknowledged would truly be a crime.
I can't even begin to imagine how many stones it took to build that thing.
Alright, so it looks like we can just leave now. I don't see anything else to interact with here. Wild, huh? Bum, 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 bum.
Harley, does it seem to you that something is not quite right about Mr. Circa's story?
I had that thought, yes.
I have a suspicion that the lady over there might have some clarification to offer.
Okay.
Last point in. Doesn't inspire much confidence, does it? Guess nobody wrote in today. Too bad we haven't got more time to spare. I could use a wash.
All
Ma'am?
right.
Yes?
Your name
Yes.
wouldn't happen to be Martha, would it?
Why, yes it is. Martha Ward. Do I know you?
No, but I've heard lots about you.
Think you might be in danger? Oh.
Mr. Villia Circus told me all about you. I believe you know him?
Only too well, I'm afraid.
Mm.
I just want this unfortunate business concluded so I can go home to my husband.
Wait, you are married?
Here we go.
Quite happily, 6 years last June.
Santa Maria.
Does Mr. Circus know that?
No. That's why I'm here.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
Mr. Circus told me you've been corresponding all this time.
Is that what he said?
He claims to have sent you a letter every month.
And they've each gone straight into the fire. I would have thought he'd get the message after years with no reply. But he's left me no choice except to come here and spell it out for him.
Well, that ended quickly, huh?
How did you and Mr. Circus meet?
He worked for my father's company. We were introduced at a Yuletide soiree. He was pleasant enough, but then he began calling on me at home. I didn't wish to encourage him, but he kept pursuing me anyway.
Did you ever actually tell Mr. Circus you weren't interested?
I gave him no favorable sign. Eventually, I stopped receiving him with my father's blessing. He imagined a better match for me than some associate engineer. Thankfully, Mr. Circus was reassigned to Western Vespuccia after a few months.
Is your husband aware that you've come here?
Oh, heavens, no. He'd be furious. I left him a note saying I was going to visit my sister. Naturally, he has no idea Circus even exists. But he's very protective.
Is the desert heat making you feel better?
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Circus said it might help your delicate constitution.
Yes, I suppose he would think that. You see, when I didn't wish to receive him, I would instruct my staff to make excuses.
Oh my
Say
goodness.
I wasn't feeling well, or away taking the water somewhere. It wasn't entirely forthright of me, I admit, but Circus was vexatiously persistent.
Enjoy your day, ma'am.
You as well.
Yeah,
and if you
enjoy
see
your day.
Mr. Circus again, please don't tell him I'm staying here. I'll go and speak with him when I'm ready.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I cannot believe that fool spent all his time chasing a married woman. Has he no shame? I cannot be...
I mean, this is a lot to unpack here. I don't know. I don't know. This is gonna be a situation.
I cannot believe...
And what do we tell this guy what's going on? I feel like it's like, hey Lola, let's actually hit the road
This goes
here.
to show what one man can accomplish if he puts his mind to it. Damn impressive.
Okay. Well,
Pardon me, Mr. Circus?
Yes, ma'am?
Mr. Circus, there's something you should know about Martha.
What? What is it?
Well, it turns out she's married. Has been for 6 years.
What? How do you know this? Did you meet her?
Yes. She said she would come speak to you when she was ready.
Ah, this explains everything. When I did not hear from her, I blamed this country's ineffectual postal service. But clearly this brute has kept her from writing.
oh.
Or even hidden my letters from her.
Uh-oh.
No, you don't understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand very well. She would not have agreed to come if she did not want to escape unhappy marriage.
Ah, right. I'll just be off for now. Thanks for the talk.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the talk, you maniac.
I cannot be...
Alright, well, oh boy, you know?
Ma'am?
Yes?
Mr. Circus seems convinced you're going to leave your husband for him.
And I'm sure Mr. Circus also believes pigs can fly.
How will you deal with him? He clearly won't take no for an answer.
I'll find a way. I'll just...
Martha!
Uh-oh.
Bronson, what are you doing here?
I'd ask you the same. Why did you lie to me?
Oh, Bronson, I didn't want to, but I had no choice. Things are just so complicated.
What in the ether does that mean? And who are these people?
Don't mind us. Or some lunatic wants to marry your wife. Well, you know what? She's just gonna lie her way out of this. We're trying to help.
Mr. Ward, I presume? We're just passing through, but we'd like to help your wife.
What are you talking about?
Please, Bronson, I can explain everything.
Damn fine idea. Start by telling me what you're really doing here.
I came to deal with some personal business.
Personal business?
Personal.
What personal business could you have?
Good night, Electric Dragon. Have a good one. You know, Martha, Mr. Circus isn't looking too bad right now. I'm not gonna say
an
anything.
unwanted suitor. I've come here to tell him to leave me alone once and for all.
You what? Where is he? I'll kill him.
No, you will not.
I will so. Tell me where to find the bastard.
He's at the castle down the road. Yeah, let's not kill anybody.
Hey now, get that bee out of your bonnet.
I don't need your help. I'll find him myself.
Bronson, come back here this instant.
Oh boy.
I do not think that went very well.
Thank you very much for that confirmation. Oh boy. I wonder if we could have handled that better, but...
Scoundrel! Ruffian! I'll teach you to lust after another man's wife!
Ah, so you are the swine keeping Martha prisoner.
Why, you foreign bastard!
Oh boy. Whoa!
Whoa, easy, feller.
Bronson, have you gone mad?
You have until the count of 10 to get out of my sight, and out of our lives forever. Otherwise, I'll make sure you won't bother us again. 1, 2.
You should listen to the man, Mr. Circus. He seems to mean what he says.
I most certainly do.
You do not frighten me.
Hermano, you should be very frightened right now.
Bronson, put that gun away and stop acting like a fool.
I'm doing this for you, my sweet.
But I asked you not to, Sugar Plum.
Mr. Ward, stay your hand. Don't do something you'll regret.
My only regret will be leaving this cad alive.
You do well to listen to your wife, Mr. Ward.
This is, after all, her business, and not yours.
I'm her husband. Of course it's my business.
Mr. Circus, I think it's very clear that this isn't going your way. Just let her go. She's not worth your life.
Very well. Please, sir, I will not trouble you again.
Do I have your word? You will stay away from my wife and disappear from our lives for good?
You have my word.
Very good. Come, Martha. Let's get out of this cesspit.
All right, we don't have to do that.
Please, I will be right behind you.
Cesspit. It's quite nice out here.
I'm terribly sorry it all had to turn out this way, Vilius.
Why did you not tell me you no longer desired my affections?
I didn't know how.
Martha, I am here now. Tell me what you feel.
I feel nothing for you. I never did. I don't know why I never said anything. I think I was afraid of your reaction. But I hoped you would take my silence as a clear indication of my disinterest.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. I spent 7 years building this castle for you. All my money, everything I own was spent to fund the construction.
Oh boy.
And now, this.
You got a cool castle, though. You could just... I mean, I think both people were wrong. I think that's the objective.
You know, the pair of you make me sick.
Okay.
Pardon?
This poor dimwit wastes years of his life obsessing over a woman too lily-livered to tell him the truth. I'd say you deserve each other.
And here I thought you were on my side.
Harley is right. You each need to face your truths.
Disgraceful.
Perhaps I should have been bolder in speech and made my refusal more plain.
And I should have heard the words in your silence.
Please forgive me. And forget me.
I can promise the one, never the other. Goodbye, Marta.
Rough break, fella. But there's plenty of mares on the plain.
You speak of horses when I have been spurned by a goddess.
Now then, deifying was probably your first mistake.
What's going on here?
Oh, you missed a hell of a show.
You gonna be all right, Mr. Circus?
I will carry on.
What will you do with this castle?
It is the only home I have. I am not sure.
Personally, I'd blow it up. I mean, it could be cathartic, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know, do something nice.
Why not take the opportunity to do some good? You could use this place to shelter the needy. Even make it an orphanage.
A place for the abandoned and bereft? Why not? It is that already.
We done here?
I believe so.
Well,
Good.
Amazing. What an interesting little detour that was, huh? Alright, here we go. I've made it very far. Alright, cool. I'm gonna take this opportunity to save. Castle. Save. Guess a good reminder for everybody. Remember to communicate. Remember to speak your feelings.